Hello everybody, Manithral here, and welcome to the weekly update video for RS3. Now, today's video is going to be a long one if you want to watch for all the details, because what I want to do is I want to go over the stuff that came out today. However, I want to do a deep dive into the DailyScape overhaul at the very end of the video, so those who want to find out all the information about the overhaul, just stay tuned until after even the pink skirt player events. That usually is the last item, because there is a lengthy amount of DailyScape overhaul information. Now, otherwise, this week though, they're going to be doing a live stream for the World Declutter. This is also going to be taking place with the player in Housing and Construction 120 design. So the World Declutter is supposed to be Thursday, March 19th. The stream will be about 1600. And then the next one will be on Friday, March 20th. And it does not have a time slate. But now both of these should be on the future. Some future blogs, which I decided I will be actually doing all the blogs each week. It just might be a little bit late for the Friday one because I'm usually busy on the weekends. So we will be going over the different blogs on the channel. But first we have the DailyScape overhaul. So this is the one that we're going to be discussing at the very end of the video, because there's a huge amount of shifts. Combat style modernization update. So there is a little tweak to this. Death swiftness has now with extra swiftiness. It is now entirely mobile and it features new visual effects. So that's pretty cool. Surge, escape, and friends. So all those kind of types of mobility abilities. They no longer share a cooldown except in PvP scenarios. Runic charge and sigils no longer clear stalled abilities. Well, surge, escape, runic, and sigils no longer. So you're fighting a boss, dodging fireballs, and install your ultimate ability. While your hero runs into attack range, you press surge to get there a bit quicker, and lo and behold, your ultimate has gone away. No longer, the above demonstrates one of the many situations where players could get negatively affected by surge and other utility abilities clearing their active ability. So they're making change to allowing surge and co not to clear these stalled abilities. So something to kind of keep in mind. And so now you can use them alongside of the others. So what happens next is, they said this is actually a big labor of love, so there's going to be more stuff coming. There is going to be a core magic buff. The core, to me, if you ask me, the only thing magic really needs, and assuming it's not already doing it, is if you are using a spell, let's say ancient magic spell, and you're using ice magic. I think all your abilities should have a percentage of the amount of ice damage you would normally get from a regular ice spell attack, from the basic attack, basically. I think that would be really cool. But they want to add a little bit of power, not just for the best in slot gear. I think that would be the perfect way to do it. They also want to separate dive and bladed dive. This way you have your utility, but you also have an attack, basically surge. A lower tier equilibrium access, adding rank 1 to more common component, further animation and visual effect improvements, improving the timing of chain, changes the concentrated blast animation, further modernization of outdated visual effects. And as you can see here, some of the examples here of work in progress and how things currently are. Further beyond, they do want to know of any kind of improvements that we would like to see in combat, and so they want our feedback with this. no matter if it's a big improvement or a small improvement. An improvement's an improvement. So they want to know what you think would help. And of course, if it's reasonable and cool, they might do it. Rune Metrics is now for all members. So this is actually a new perk to membership. It is not just for certain people now, it is for all members. It is now completely free for all paid members, including bond users. So if you're a bond user, it is now free for you as well. So this is cool. This is another new feature. I know they've been getting rid of some of the stuff from like the daily overhaul auras and stuff like that. This is an example of stuff that's kind of a new perk. And I know I'm going to be discussing some things in my video when it comes to the price hike. I know there's not a lot of people who are happy about it, but there's stuff like this that is happening. Hopefully, some of the information I had heard is correct, and trust me, the new increased membership will end up being worth it. Otherwise, though, we go into the patch notes. So first we have the combat style modernization. Flurry and greater flurry now stun opponents as expected. Fix an issue with the fractured staff of Armadale tooltip, not Tor. The Golden Touch of utility ability can now be cast without a staff equipped. Fix some typos with when arrows listing incorrect information. Crafted armor stats are no longer offset and now correctly match the tier of armor. The Pack Mammoth Scroll can no longer be used to consume potions and multi-eat food. Enhanced abilities can be toggled on and off, or on or off during Revolution combat. Fix a small animation issue with the basic or magic basic attack. Basic attack now lights up when you're unarmed in the ability book or / action bar. Salamander ammo consumption has been corrected. They were only using ammo 15% of the time. In general, had the ability to smoke salmon on the fire during the quest Princess and the Pauper. The Voices Serum Blessing should now correctly increase the pickpocketing XP. Fix a rare issue where Elena could be permanently imprisoned, preventing progression in Plague's End quest. Try talking to her in the prison cell now. Should now teleport her back home. The player should now be able to use the Pot Boiler's default add logs option to the add eternal magic logs to it. Acadia logs are no longer marked as members only in the fire making skill guide. Players with remaining charges in the Nomad necklace are informed that they can convert them to bonus XP while checking remaining charges. Fix a typo present in the wolf whistle. Fix an issue that caused a broadcast message to appear white instead of cyan. 758 leg tasks are no longer included in the number of total achievements. Fix an issue that caused Uncut Dragonstone remains in the player inventory while mining with an active sign of porter. Having a beaver scroll multi-chop stored in the familiar inventory should now let the player use a special move. Updated the Chaos Altar north of the Forgotten Cemetery so that it features the same experience boost as the Chaos Northwest of Fort 4 and 3. Gloves of Silence now correctly degrade on failed pickpocket attempts. Fix an issue with the incorrect icons and levels with the catching multiple Chinchampas leveling benefit in the agility skill guide. Magic axes in the Deep Wilderness have had their stats lowered so that players can steal from the chest uninterrupted if their combat level is high enough. Perk descriptions should no longer overlap. Changing the minimap shape no longer prevents players from using the M hotkey. Then we head to the community. First up, we have the Escaper screenshots. We have Lily hanging out with some of the fun guys on the farm. And then we have Plaguesy going through the old photos and found this candidate of Harold. Pretty cool. And then the Playing Skirt player events. Don't forget to check the in-game calendar, which is the best way to do it because there's so many more events other than the ones that are listed, and then you can actually pick and choose however you please. And don't forget These are a great way to learn new bosses, or bosses in general. And then we have the DailyScape, which is inspiration, ideas, and editing tips for screen captures, such as the screenshots that we've seen earlier. They also do have a Discord, which is a /BRA8FWUNN4. So that is the main part of the video. Now, if you want to stick around and you want to hear more about the DailyScape overhaul, please do stay. So, the thing for them was DailyScape turns gameplay into a chore list. DailyScape creates time pressure, and daily rewards can be powerful, well, extremely powerful, and can accelerate progression too quickly. And as much as I love how some of those things work, I can understand why it should be changed. Daily challenges changed but not removed. So they were initially going to remove these, but they instead ended up taking it a little bit different. So after some consideration and public and internal discussion, they decided not to remove them completely, but they're still making some changes to better align the system with the direction they're heading. They generally agreed with player feedback that it's better to have a more measured approach rather than do too much at once. So daily challenges have been helpful guiding new and returning players. So from now on, they removed the weekly reward track from these challenges, along with the ability to extend or re-roll them. The intent is that the removal of the weekly tracker and streak system, it'll ease the pressure on the complete the daily challenges every day and give a greater opportunity chance to ignore them on any day that you prefer to focus on something else. So there's going to be they're going to continue to monitor these the challenges and revisit later on with the potential changes or outright removal in the future. This also is going to all of this is going to depend on feedback. Gothixian Cache. So this fun little mini game. Instead of it being the way it is now that you need to have 35 divination and entry in the Gothixian Cache. So, to gain entry into it. But instead of it being an every hour thing, instead, once a player deposits 800 memories into the rift, it opens and allows entry to the cache. The rift remains open until you enter and subsequently exit it, and there's no need to rush in immediately. There's no time limit while inside. You can leave whenever you like or stay until you get 100 points. So now basically what it is you can get in anytime as long as you are able to get in. But each time you stay, you can only get 100 points. Then that's the limit on how much you could do. Previously, it says every third Gothixian cast granted a boost effect that provided various buffs. With today's changes, every cache will now give this boost, though for a shorter duration. This can be calculated as points divided by 20 with a maximum boost time of 5 per completed cache. So there's some math that goes into it, of course. This ensures consistent rewards in gameplay, engaging and manageable. So now they are more of a regular thing. Soul Reaper task. There is now no longer a limit. No longer has a daily task cap. Instead, you can train Slayer via bossing as much as you like. So that's something that's kind of different. Death now acts as similar to a Slayer Master, but for bosses. Instead, new Reaper point cap of 300 points per week has been implemented. So you can still only earn so much per week, essentially. But it's not given by day. So that's kind of cool because, like, let's say you have your Fridays are completely free, that's your bossing day. Now you can just hit boss after boss. But Reaper assignments now require level 45 Slayer and an overall combat of level 50. They also have generally been rebalanced with a view towards task length, Reaper points, and XP. The Traveling Merchant. This is going to be one that's probably going to upset some people. So, it is a fan favorite, but it does bypass a large portion of game's progression. It is also unpredictable in how it spawns. So, with that in mind, they came to address the merchant while also finding ways to address the reasons for why it became a favorite. So, the traveling merchant has been disabled, and they rebalanced the various pieces of content to compensate for this. The following 4 changes, A through D, are related to the traveling merchant removal. Read on to find out more about that. So here's number 1, which is A, stealing creation outfit redistribution. So there was there was at least 2 outfits, the Artisan and the Fletcher, which were only available through stealing creation. This is now available in the Trawler Shop, Stanley Limelight's Trader. So each piece can be bought for 360 Thaler. That is one thing. Runespan balancing. So Runespan point output has been doubled alongside the removal of the traveling merchant mentioned above. This will reduce the time required to earn esteem or buy other items in Phoenix's runecrafting shop. The increased output will also have a positive effect on obtaining the altar teleport tabs, which is very big for runecrafters and clue chasers. And like I said, it's been doubled. So, for example, air runes new points is 0.2, previous 0.1. Mine is now 0.4, was 0.2. So as you can see, each one has been doubled. So that's fantastic, especially when you get down into the soul runes, because now you're going to be getting 7 instead of 3.5. C, livid farm balancing. So to make things smoother here, they cut the cost of each spell by 70%. So you can unlock things much, much faster. For example, South Falador Teleport, instead of 35,000, is now 10,000. And all the way down to the Bard Power, which was 430,000, which is down to 130,000. Much, much better. And D, the Uncharted Island map rebalancing. So now the maps instead are now earned whenever you train at the deep sea fishing hub. So basically, you could fish these up, including the elusive Red Island map. So keep that in mind. So now we want to see how this goes and see how it goes forward. The Wicked Hood is essentially an Omni Tiara now, to put it lightly. If you do have charges in your hood, it will still teleport you until you're out of charges. But that is essentially all it does. It does not give. It is no longer possible to get free daily runes or essence. So that is something to keep in mind. You no longer get freebies. You now actually have to runecraft again. And that's going to be big for people who enjoy runecrafting, because now runes are going to be steadily going up in price. They're not as easy to just mass produce. The Viswax, Rune Goldberg machine, and quick teleporting changes. So the Rune Goldberg machine is no longer in commission. Viswax has been removed. There is a new way to add the quick teleport enhancements, if you will, to speed up. And then as for the bucket of Viswax for the Masterwork bow, it'll now be Yeah, you no longer need that, but you will need to be able to use a bucket of wax and water to create the refined wax. So now you just have to make refined wax in order to make the bow. So they just changed up the recipe a little bit. So the Viswax is no longer going to be a thing. Well, is no longer a thing. Viswax was only going to be used now, for the teleportation, but they now canceled that as well. It is no longer used in auras, etc., etc. There's a lot of things going on here. And to add quick teleport charges, all it takes is 5 law runes. So every time you get your law runes built up, you can actually pour them into the quick teleport if you really want to. Daily shop and NPC free item collection runs. So this I kind of like. We can go over the whole list, and we probably should. But there's NPCs who previously gave free daily items. These were previously used for daily runs, so they changed the way they work to no longer reset daily. And the stock that would previously have reset daily now accumulates over the course of 7 days and has a new and increased cap. So keep in mind, if you were able to get stuff that, once a day, or like, let's say, Sand from Bert, I see that on the list. You can now go and see him maybe once a week, and then you can get all your sand at once if you really, really wanted to. Which is pretty cool. And so some of these places are the Pure Essence from Wizard Comperty, Flax from Geoffrey, Potato Cactus from Weird Old Man, Sand from Bert, Logs from Caden, Old Conan, Slayer Equipment Shops, Turiel and Spira, Jacqueline, Mashna, Vanaka, Chalder, Simona, and Duradel, Berthorpe, Canifus, Edgeville, Zenaris, Polnovich, and Shiloh, the Contract Yak Produce, Trucker's Fresh Meat, Garant's Fishy Business, Lumbridge Fishing Supplies, Fishing Guild Shop, Fernaya's Fishing Hut, Shante Pass Shop, Eva's Odds and Ends, Fraud's Gift Shop, Island Fishmonger, etc. Fish, from Frominic Fishmonger, Manithral Fishing Shop, Magic Guild Store, Runes and Stabs, Baby Yaga's Magic Shop, Two Tabs Magical Market, Void Knight Magic Store, Lindale's Arena Side Rune, Ali Rune, Survival Shop, Anachronia Base Camp Rune Shop, Anachronia Gem Shop, Battle Runes, Mage of Zamrock, the Tizahar Maj Rose Rune Store, Aubrey's Rune Shop, Betty's Magic Emporium, Carwin's Essence Binders Runecrafting Shop, Sophanum Slayer Supplies, Colomancer Food Chest, Bandit Duty Free, Alarine's General Store Seaweed and Pineapples, Arhene's, Loop Free Supplies, or Lupe, Del Monte Pineapple and Apple, the Lighthouse Store, Beefy Bill Supplies, Harmony Pillar Farm Shop, Ahmad's Adventuring Supplies, Obley's General Store, Cogamex's Herb Shop. You see there's a lot more coming. Cogamex's Herb Lore, Zigmund the Merchant, Rasimir's Building Merchants, Rasimir's Free Planks, the Black Marketeer Port Resources, Rosie's Free Supplies, Mammy Rimba's Shop, Sarah's Farming Shop, Vanessa's Farming Shop, Richard's Farming Shop, Alice's Farming Shop, Papa Mambo's Shop, 443 Kitchen and Botanist Shop. And then the Liberation of Mazcab. So the capital daily loot has now been removed, and drop rates of rare items have been adjusted to account for this. Acto is 1 in 20 from both bosses. Beastmaster drops boots, gloves, and helm. Yakimaru drops legs and chest. Drop still function is the same order as live, prioritizing the combat style, then the order of boots, gloves, helms, legs, and the chest in the Yakamoro. The ability codex 1 in 30. Free roll reroll has been removed, but a 10% drop rate increase to Acto and ability codex has been added with at max reps with Gobies. So it's kind of something new for that. The Phoenix Slayer, which is the only viable source of the Phoenix Quill. The daily engagement cap made it feel players had to log in every day to make the most of it. The cap is now removed, giving players full freedom to engage whenever they want. The balance for unlimited participation, XP rates have been adjusted. Quill drops have also been tweaked, so that the Phoenix now drops 2 quills instead of 5. So, something to kind of keep in mind. The first kill during the Empire Need quest still awards 5. Serenity Post, there is a cap removal, but the XP has been adjusted. And of course, if you are doing the active version of this, you will get more XP as if you were AFKing it. The Crystal Tree Blossom and Perfidness has been looked at. The tree will now store up to 30 charges, if you will, increasing 1 each day. Within each daily reset, the XP per blossom has been reduced to balance the change. Red and Crystal Sandstone no longer has a cap. The rock mining stats and XP have been adjusted for similar levels, so something to keep in mind. Fish Flingers. To make it more flexible, they removed both the daily cap and the requirement to have entry ticket. The XP rates haven't changed, and all the rewards are still available. So now you can just do it freely. Shooting Stars it's very iconic, but they removed the daily cap. You can now claim star sprite rewards after mining each star. They have shortened the time span to around 90 minutes and have subsequently rebalanced its XP and rewards, seeing as style stars are now more available. They also replaced the old store's mining buff with a 15-minute buff you get from every star you mine. The Tizhar Herzo Tokul. This is the free daily Tokul you would get from the Elite achievement. And instead of getting 8k every day, you will now receive a lump sum of 150k Tokul. Personally, I can see people being not too happy with that one. But it is what it is. Be sure to give feedback on Discord and places like that if you don't like those. Bork is no longer repeatable D&D, meaning you can fight as many times as you want, but the Slayer XP will only be awarded on the first kill, which now gives 30k XP. Any subsequent quills will no longer give XP, but you can still go back for and fight him more often for drops. Aquarium decorations can now tap into they could tap into DailyScape if you weren't paying attention. You can miss out on some stuff. So instead, oyster, kelp, and seaweed decorations now reset weekly and generate 5 times the usual quantity, letting players enjoy them without worrying about daily grind. The Slime Pit teleport. So it can feel pretty slow and frustrating to do the Slime Pit, which made the daily teleport in Mauritania Lakes 4 feel like a must-use. Now, Mauritania Lakes give a unlimited teleport at level 4. Evil Tree and Mini Evil Tree. There's, again, no more daily caps, so you can keep interacting with this as much as you would like. You have unlimited participation, and as part of unlocking the daily cap was the Evil Tree, it feels necessary to balance out by removing the mini Evil Tree and more of a contributor to it that spawned using the Nature Sentinel outfit. What isn't changing is the Sinkholes and Garaju card. So apparently they actually kind of like how that is balancing. What is being removed is the Wilderness Flash events. That is going to be a big uproar. But it is important to know that as you are doing tasks and stuff in the wilderness, you can actually get the items you could once before from these events, such as the Dark Core. I had seen reports where, oh, for some reason my webcam freaked out. Yeah. Sorry about that, guys. I don't know how long that's been going like that. What to do with this video? Big do. I don't know why it's doing that. But anyway, the such thing as like the Dark Core, it is now just available, and there's a chance of getting it whenever you go and do stuff within the wilderness. These sack rewards include catching black salamanders, finishing the laps in the wilderness, felling bloodwood trees in the wilderness, fully claiming herbs from the herb patch, and also completing a wilderness slayer task. So everything has a contribution towards it. Wilderness warbands, and this is a DailyScape with a 7-hour delay in between each. Wilderness warbands have been disabled, though Quirkus, the host, will remain in the wilderness wall so that players can still claim any rewards with him. The Motherlode Maul and Shards, which would give enhancers that skip or speed up parts of content. Key, well, taps into one of the keys of DailyScape right there. So the maul has been disabled and shards no longer are obtainable. You can still exchange any remaining shards you have with Wyathan and any enhancers you already have. Divine locations are occupied a particular space in the daily cycle. They don't significantly add anything, but they do provide a large amount of XP, and multiplying skilling resources. So going forward, divine locations can no longer be crafted from divination. Any divine locations you already own will stay in your inventory and bank and can still be used. Additionally, the memory storage bot Juna now has an increased chance to spawn chronicle fragments instead of increasing your divine location craft limit. Speaking of craftware and crafting stuff, the modified headwear free items. These were items that you could add into your headwear and you could get free items. These items will no longer give items daily. The modified artisan, the modified shaman, the modified blacksmith, botanist, modified farming, modified soy chef, modified diviner, modified first age, modified ritualist. And so far that is it for this stuff. Now there is probably going to be more stuff. There will probably be more tweaks. Something to kind of keep in mind. Again, I apologize for the camera, but it is what it is. And if you watched all this, thank you very much for watching all this. I really appreciate it. And until next time, later, guys.